Hey golfers, welcome to my channel and welcome to part 1 of my 5-part series towards fixing and curing your slice. We're going to look at part 1 today, understanding the impact and what the golf club is telling the golf ball to do so that it's curving off to the right for a right-handed golfer. Part 2, we're going to look at some grip options and setup options. Part 3, we're going to discuss takeaway. Part 4, top of the backswing. Part 5, we're going to cover downswing and impact. Ultimately, changing that impact is what we're trying to do. So let's get started, and if you could, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's get going. So 2 things we have to learn here as to why your golf ball curves to the right. One is club path, and one is club face, okay? So I'm going to discuss what those 2 mean. I'm going to show you some graphics, and I'm going to show you a close-up of exactly what's going on. So number 1, we're going to discuss face angle, okay? Face angle can be simply put as when the golf club and ball meet, which direction is it pointing? Is it pointing to the right, the left, or straight? Okay, so is it open, closed, or square? Simple as that. Number 2 gets a little bit more tricky. We're going to talk club path. So club path basically refers to when the club and ball meet, what direction the club is traveling. So this would be a left path, this would be a right path, and this would be a pretty neutral path. When we're slicing the golf ball, we're going to have a path moving left. Okay, we commonly know this as out to in or over the top, but what we're going to use it as terms of left path. Then with that left path, we're going to have an open face, so a face pointing to the right. When you mix those 2 together, you get a golf ball that will curve off to the right. So let's take a closer look at it and see what's going on. So let's take a closer look at this. This stick on the ground is referencing our target line, okay? So if we talk numbers in terms of club path, we've got 0 club path here. At impact, the club would be moving straight towards the target. We could have a leftward path, which would mean the club is coming from here and working to the left, or we could have a path that's moving to the right. That's the one we eventually want. But the club for a slicer will be traveling left. Now we discussed face angle also. What direction is the club face pointing at impact? To the right, straight, or left? Open, square, closed. Now obviously this video is about understanding why you're slicing the ball and why the ball is curving to the right. So the 2 things that are happening is, remember, this target line would be 0. Our path as we come through the ball will be moving left. This is where the term out to in comes from. So out to in through the golf ball. Now that in itself is not enough to make your golf ball slice. It's the relationship with the club face to that path that causes it to curve. So if we're swinging down with this path coming from out to in, but our club face is open, well sure enough the golf ball is going to start, it could be on the target line or a little bit right or left, but it will curve to the right because the face is open to the path, okay? So put simply, when we're slicing the golf ball, this is our target line. As we're coming through to the golf ball to hit it, our club comes from here, moves in, and our club face is open, causing curvature to the right. These are things that obviously in this series we're going to fix, but that is a demonstration of what exactly is going on at impact. So let's take a closer look with some TrackMan numbers. So let's first take a look at what a golf shot looks like when it is slicing off to the right. A slice can start pretty straight, it can start left, it can start right of target, but ultimately there's a lot of curve to the right. So we can see here on this tracer, the ball curving substantially to the right. Now what you're going to find is, as I mentioned, you're going to find that more extreme with the longer clubs, less extreme with the shorter, more lofted clubs. Okay, so let's take a look at some of the TrackMan data and see exactly what the club path and face relationship is to make that ball curve to the right. Okay guys, here we have a really good visual demonstration of a lesson I taught recently where the golfer was slicing the ball. Okay, and you can see here on the visual that this dotted line here is our target line. You can see that that says 0 over there in the corner, just here, and basically you can then see the blue line, which is our club path. We can see on this particular swing,
the golfer was swinging 7 degrees minus, which basically means his club was traveling left as it hit the golf ball by 7 degrees. That's the out to in path. That's the leftward path that we talked about. Okay, then we can see the face's relationship to this in terms of face to path. We're not going to worry too much about face angle relative to target, because I feel that if we can control the path and the face to path, you're going to be able to change the shape of your golf shot. Face to path is so important. You can see that this one reads a positive number, which is a plus number. That basically means that the club face was open. So put simply, this golfer was slicing the ball the same way. If you're hitting a slice, the path was moving left and his club face was right of that, causing the ball to curve to the right. Okay, so I hope this makes sense. Pretty simple once you get your head around it. I know at the start it can feel a little bit overwhelming when you start looking at numbers, but certainly this is essentially what's happening. The club is moving left through impact and the face is some amount open to that.
So now that we've had a little bit of a closer look at the face and path relationship that causes your slice, which one should we change first? Should it be path or club face? Ultimately, we know we have to change both of them. We have to flip them around so that we're swinging from inside with the closed face instead of outside with the open face. But what we don't want to do is tackle the club path first. Here's why. If we're swinging from a left path, we're going to cross the ball, and we leave the face open, we know the ball curves to the right. If we think, okay, I'm over the top, I need to fix that, so I'm going to go to the top of my swing, try and swing more from inside. But if we don't fix the club face, we're only going to hit it worse. We're only going to hit it more to the right. So ultimately, the first thing that we need to do is get this club face more closed. And we want to do it the right way. We don't want to stand and try and roll our wrists over. There's no consistency from that. So what we're going to look at in part 2 is some grip and setup options to get the ball rolling on starting to close this face. Now what will happen, and this is a good thing, as we make these changes into part 2, 3 and 4, we will see that the ball should go more left on more of a straight pull. You'll like the feel of it. It's pretty solid, goes a good distance as well. And then as we start to discuss some other options in the later videos, we'll start to change that path and ultimately straighten out your slice. So thanks for hanging with me. Look forward to part 2. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.